Hi there, it's Jessie here, and a big fat warm welcome to the channel. Hi, if you're coming back, you know that I love you. And if you're completely new and you clicked on my face, well, hi. The universe has brought us together. For better or for worse. You know, it's either a good thing or a bad thing. No, it's not. Look at me, duality, I love it. Okay, I'm feeling so much love today, just to let you know. Maybe I'm ovulating. I don't know what it is. I don't normally look this good either. Like, please don't be fooled. I don't look this good in real life. I just want everyone to know that. This lighting and the 2D thing serves me well. So what I'm contemplating, like what I'm being asked to look at the moment is like the differences in the male and female experience. And I'm trying to actually comprehend the male experience more, because I think for a lot of my life, I've been projecting onto males as if they have the same experience as us women. And, you know, obviously we operate differently and there's certain things that are obviously different. But it's also the way we've been socialized, which I don't think I've really considered before, the impact or the differences there. So the way that this has come up in my life is I've noticed, like, so I basically shared something that was very intimate, and a friend who I was sharing the details about was really upset that I had breached their privacy in that way without consent. I had no idea that what I shared was breaching their privacy, because it's something that I wouldn't ever question whether that's, like, for me it's not private, okay? As in, yeah, for me it's not something, there are things that I consider private, definitely, and then there are like a lot of things that I don't. So I breached this person's privacy with what I shared, and it was difficult for me to understand that I had done that. I could hear them and I was like, okay, but I was like, I'm curious, like, why or how. Like, I had no idea. Just fill in the blanks if you don't know what I'm talking about, because probably it resonates in some way. Excuse me. So then I asked for another male perspective. I said, is this something, like, somebody shared this about you, would that be like invading your privacy? And he was like, yeah, probably. Like, I never talk to my male friends in that way about stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then I ask another male friend the same thing. Like, if somebody talked about that, like, how would you feel about that? Would that be private information? And they were like, yeah, definitely would. Like, I don't talk to my male friends about stuff like that. And now I'm starting to think, oh, like, I didn't realize how much men don't share with their male friends, because it's different, isn't it, when you're engaging with a male, like in an intimate relationship, that you do, at least I discuss these topics. I bring them up. So I have these conversations with men and women, like whoever is in my life. It hadn't occurred to me that men maybe don't have another friend that they do that, like, discuss those matters with. And it's got me thinking about how different our experience must be because of that. We're running low on battery, so I'll be as quick as I can. That for all the horrors, you know, generally speaking, that men have put women through over the centuries, I feel like how we've survived that is we've always had each other, you know, women have always had each other. And yeah, sure, we compete and, like, we're, you know, programmed to compete and also all of that. But you always have someone, don't you? You always have a friend or a sister or a mother or somebody, another female in your life that you can go there with and be super vulnerable with. And my goodness, perhaps I've overlooked that, as what a strength we have in that. Probably how we've survived the horrors. And men, the thing is, men go through the same amount of violence on each other, and of course the psychological violence as well, which women tend to be better at, but the loneliness, if they don't have anyone to talk to. And then I think, okay, so perhaps that is stuff that's better to be private or kept private. Like, what is the value of keeping things private? And I'm somebody. One of the reasons, like, my past situationship didn't work out is because I'm quite spontaneous with truth, and when I feel something, I sort of share it in the moment because that's when I'm feeling it, and that's kind of when I want to work with it, hoping that whoever I'm with can also be as spontaneous and true to their truth as well. And what I noticed with this man is that when we were having certain conversations, maybe that were more challenging or uncomfortable, that he would prefer to do it over voice note or even written word. So he knows that he's saying exactly what he wants to say. And a similar thing happened at breakfast. I was with my friend and her lover, and we were discussing something, and he was saying, I need to process this. I need to go away and process it, and then I'm not ready to talk about how I feel about it yet. And, I'm starting to see this thing, that this is way another partner I had as well. They would want to process things alone and then come back to the conversation when it's sort of calmed down. And I see the value in that. But I tell you what, from my perspective, what it makes me feel a little bit about is for me, there's like not quite as much transparency and spontaneity as I'd like. Because I would rather somebody tell me how they react or respond to that in that moment than go away and curate a response, which is, I can see why. Like, I can see you can argue for both sides, right? That it's like, then it doesn't get too emotional and you don't say things you don't mean, da-da-da-da. But there's no wrong answer to emotions. Like, if somebody says something and you're like, oh, I need to process that. And yes, all valid, but also immediately you can share, like, wow, immediately that makes, and I think this is where I'm like more comfortable or have had more success maybe in working with the moment. And there's definitely arguments for both sides. That's clear. And there's always that middle ground. And it's usually like an as and when, or like what's appropriate in this situation. Is it best to wait? But yeah, there's a slight mistrust I have for it, as if like, okay, let me just figure out what it is so I can create an answer that's going to be the best. But this is probably a masculine thing, isn't it? That probably feels quite logical, rational in a way. There's no rush. We don't have to like act on our emotion in this moment. But there's so much truth there for me. And I don't know. Any thoughts? Any thoughts from any of you? Like, how, in your experience or your perspective, is there like this fundamental difference? And is it just about sort of like honoring both perspectives and letting people choose what they wish to take, but knowing that there's truth in both, finding the balance? What do you think? I'm super curious. Right, I've got to go because the battery, and I've got work. So thank you very, very much for watching. Let us know your thoughts down below. Like the video if you liked it, and also subscribe, please, if you want more content like this. We'll see you in the next video. Otherwise, have a beautiful day and a beautiful life. We got this.